Many years ago, when I was 19 years old, um, I was at my local Borders bookstore searching for a children's book or two for my little cousin's birthday. He was turning 5 and really enjoyed reading whatever kids' books he could at his young age, so I thought I would support the habit. I enter Borders and head straight to the kids section and look around, picking up some books that look like they would interest my little cousin and even laughing at some of the funny things I saw on the cover/first couple pages I flipped through. Kids' books are hilarious, okay? As I am minding my own business, I get a very firm poke on the back of my shoulder from a very disgruntled employee. The employee starts to tell me I must leave the kids section immediately because it is only for kids 12 and under, and how inappropriate I was being and also how creepy I was being for looking at children's books. I let her go on and on until I had enough and decided it was time for some very petty revenge. I let her finish one last sentence and said, "I totally understand. I'll make sure to leave the kids section as no adults are allowed to be here." I literally took about 10 steps to my left, which put me outside of the clearly carpeted boundaries of the kids section. I stood there as the employee kept looking at me. As soon as I saw mom and dad walk into the kids section with their 2 kids, I regretfully informed them that their kids could stay and look around the section, but the parents would have to leave as they were over the age of 12. They, of course, were questioning my authority to tell them to leave the kids section, rightfully so, and as luck would have it, the employee from before came charging over, apologizing to them for my remarks and explained that the kids section is not only for individuals under the age of 12. As soon as I heard those words leave her mouth, I of course questioned her and asked why she would have told me the opposite just a few minutes ago and had me leave the kids section. At this point, the couple just demanded a manager, again, rightfully so. The manager came over and asked for everyone's side of things. When I told him I was there to buy children's books for my cousin, he asked why there was a problem in the first place. I replied, "I'm not sure. Ask your employee. She is the one who approached me for looking at books. I was just informing other customers of store policy, so they didn't get reprimanded like me." The manager immediately turned red and walked over to his employee. I couldn't hear everything he said, but I could hear him say, "We'll talk about this later." This is the second time now, so I can only imagine what trouble she got in. After he finished telling his employee that they would speak later, he came back over to me and the couple. I started this part of the conversation off by apologizing to the couple for making them and their kids my case in point, to which they said they understand now that they see what happened. The manager apologized to them as well and then to me for his employee's behavior and explained that there is no such rule or policy and that I was free to go into the kids section, get whatever books I want, and then check out up front. He offered to bring any children's books I knew I would purchase to the front register and hold them for me so that he didn't waste any more of my time and so that I could do one last quick visual sweep of what kids' books were on the shelves. I thanked him profusely and told him not to worry about my time, because I've got plenty. I then sat down on one of the kids' chairs in the kids section, grabbed a book off the shelf behind me, and sat down staring straight at the employee until they walked away. Anyways, Borders is closed now. I love buying books for my nephew and would have told her to F off and asked for her manager. People have kids, siblings, etc., and if you're in the kids section, logically you're shopping for kids. Normally I would have just told her off and asked for a manager. But something about having a kid's book actively in my hand that I was planning to purchase for my little cousin immediately let me know that I was dealing with a very low intelligence individual and that petty revenge like this would be much sweeter. It was one of those thoughts without thinking situations where I immediately knew to let them shit right where they sleep. I could understand if you had behaved inappropriately around children, but she thought you just looked like a creep? A bit presumptuous. Maybe it was because I laughed at some of the books and that is inappropriate? Couldn't honestly tell you.